Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. This is not the best Drooms, but still good. I thought I'd do something different this time round. I'm gonna be piecing together some behind the scenes, helping people understand what's the practice and thought process from start to finish when I receive the set list all the way to the end of actually playing the song and the set list, and of course some AARs, after action reviews. So hopefully you enjoy it and you can incorporate some of these into your own practice regime. And of course, if you have any feedback or any top tips, I'm happy to learn as well. This is really not about perfection. This is all about how we can increasingly get better for ourselves. You know, perfection is great, but if we give our best and we practice as hard as possible, that is typically good enough. So enjoy the video. First up, we received the set list about T-7. Be singing new song this week. Easy to practice harder. So the first thing I do after adding the set list to my Spotify album is really to go through this activity called clocking in the listens. So active listening for certain parts of the song, just listening out, air drumming. You really want to clock in the listens to familiarize yourself with all the different sounds of the song. And in total, I maybe spend 50, 60, 70 times listening to the entire song. Sometimes you can see I get distracted. Sometimes I would just commit more time to it if I really like the song, or if the song is just inherently just more complex. So that's the clocking the listens phase. So the next thing I want to do after I clock my audio listens is to get a visual. So you can see here on YouTube, I'm looking for official drum playthroughs, covers, as well as live versions. Typically what I want to do is play as close to the original as possible. There's of course some room for variation, but it should not change the entire essence and spirit of the song. You also want to follow what your music director, your MD, and your song leader is expecting. And there might be some people in the crowd who have listened to the song before, so you don't want to throw anybody off. You can see here that there's a mix of recording or studio produced drum videos as well as live versions, because sometimes atmosphere and crowd changes the flavor of things. So once again, this part, get a visual so you can understand each part. So yes, the next part after audio clocking of listens and getting a visual of how the drums are played, you can't escape the actual practice. So this is T-4, sometimes I do T-5 based on my schedule, and I usually just play the song once through, and the parts which I'm obviously not good at, it will stand out, and I will zoom into those specific sections and just play it over and over and over again. We always have that saying where practice makes perfect, but over here what I want to do is I want to practice until I don't make any mistakes. Well, it's a lofty goal. I can honestly tell you that I don't hit it 100% of the time, but yes, just practice as hard as possible so that you master the song to the best of your ability. And yes, very important point, you want to be practicing with click or a metronome. So behind me, I have my work setup. That's where I play my music. I just need to turn around to my drum set, and I have my phone next to me that plays out the metronome. So here's a short listen for what it actually sounds like. Next up, practice day. Just finished work. It says here, love work. That's exactly what I feel about my day-to-day job. But it's even better when we play some music. Let's do this. Alright, the setup. Sorry, the video looks so potato because I apparently used the wrong camera setting. But yes, this is the setup. DB90 on the left, which is the metronome, makes a very, very loud, shrill click sound. You can't miss it. Double snares, one open snare, and one normal snare, and just a couple of toms. I'm not skilled yet to use more than 2 toms. So now we go through the actual practice. We kind of start off with sound check, where we go through like testing all our different kinds of sounds that we are going to be using. For the drummer, you typically just do a hi-hat, kick, and snare for a million years. Okay, just kidding, not a million years, maybe about 10 minutes. It really depends on how consistent you are with your playing. The more consistent, the better, because consistency is music to the sound and audio team's ears, pun intended. So you just go through sound check, hi-hat, kick, snare, followed by the toms, the overheads, and the click. Once sound check is over, for the musicians, we usually run through the set list once, and this is the point where all our individual practices all come together collectively so that we can all gel together. So band practice is not for individual practice. I mean, although you will improve in your playing during this practice, but the primary goal for practice in this setting is so that the whole band just gels together, understands who's playing what at each point in time, and we complement each other so that it doesn't become musical diarrhea. Because yes, if we all play all at once, we are not giving each other space. But yes, that's a totally different topic for another time. So that's playing it through once. Singers do a sound check. After singers do a sound check, then we go through the actual practice with the singers. All in all, this starts from maybe around 8 o'clock, and this particular practice ended at around 10:30. So maybe 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how fast we are. Yep, so that's practice day with the rest of the band. We jump over to T-1, because I took a break T-2. But yeah, sometimes I might do a little bit of practice on T-2, once again depending on schedule or depending on the complexity of the song. But yes, T-1, I just go for a quick workout because this is one of the rare occasions where I get to pull my own weight. So yes, blowing off some steam and yep, preparing for D-Day. So we're going on stage, ready to play. We've been here since 2:30 for sound check. Did one run of the entire set list. We actually do it once for every service. So Saturday service we run it once, and then Sunday service we run it once. I got my rig ready. This is how I record my audio. I have a Eddie roll by Roland. It's kind of like the churches. Then I have an Eviom, or yeah, basically a mixer for our in-ears. Then I just mix it accordingly, and then it just records into an SD card over here. So that's how I get my audio. And we finally hit the service itself. So playing over Saturday and Sunday. In the end, I picked the Sunday service because I made a lot of mistakes on the Saturday service. It's not huge boo-boos where they are complete showstoppers, but they're minor enough mistakes for me to, when I look back at the video and listen through the audio once again, it makes me cringe quite a bit. And also I just want to make sure that I'm properly representing the song. So yes, I make tons of mistakes and it's all part of the process. Once again, we're not here for perfection, but yeah, we just want to do the best that we can. And that's it. That's the thought process and the practicing process of when I'm learning a new song. If you found this useful, feel free to hit the like button. And if you have any suggestions, recommendations, or feedback, feel free to put it in the comment section. I will link the actual video of me playing this song as well as the rest of the set list over here. I think it's over here or over here. Once again, thank you for staying all the way to the end, and God bless.